Thank you, Dr. Evans. Hi, my name is James, and I make fire for a living. So today, our world is completely, and I mean completely, dependent on the combustion of fossil fuels. And that is not going away anytime soon. By about 2050, we're going to see a 50% increase in global energy demand, so that pie gets larger. Renewables are not keeping pace, so even that new energy demand is going to be met by combustion of even more fossil fuels. But the good news is we can do better with what we have. So at Nobel, we've developed a new type of system that is 25% more fuel efficient. That means up to a 25% reduction in cost, and then a commensurate reduction, 25% reduction in CO2 emissions. So our technology is called rotating detonation engines, but I really like to think about it as supersonic combustion. So anything, really, planes, trains, automobiles, it all relies on subsonic combustion. But what we do differently is we use the exact same fuels, and then we hit it tangentially with a shock wave, and then that supersonically combusts the fuel, and it keeps moving around, ingesting that fuel in there. So if you're looking at that timestamp, it's something about 4,000 times a second it's going around that annular chamber. So this is how it would look like inside of a combustor, inside of a turbine. And first of all, we are not building turbines from scratch. We're not trying to build new turbines from scratch. What we are doing is upgrading the very heart of those systems, which is the combustor. Now, these combustors, they're replaced every 5 years or so anyways because they burn out. So we're building a drop-in replacement for that using our supersonic combustion technology that will then save it fuel in either new turbines or in existing turbines. So if you look at the market, it's pretty huge, anything that burns fuels. But here I'm just taking a kind of a look at the gas-fired power plants. And the money that you really care about here is really the operations and maintenance costs, which is what you would use to replace the combustors in the first place. Worldwide, that's about $64 billion a year. And even if you dive down into a small beachhead turbine, that's about $500 million a year. So this is a really, really, really big market. If you like pie charts, we're that little blue sliver on the entire side of that. So if you Google this technology right now, you're going to find that it lives mostly in aerospace and defense, and that's where we come from. So we have over 100 years of aerospace and defense spanning a lot of functions, going from sketch on a napkin all the way to building and running factories. So we've done this before, we've been there, we've run billion-dollar product lines and thousands of people, and we are excited to do it again, but with energy. So in terms of traction, we have a few contracts right now. Shell is one of them. Hi, Matt, he's here today. And also US Air Force. So for Shell, we're using our engines with hydrogen because our engines work particularly well with hydrogen. So that's a fun place for us. And then US Air Force working on ramjet and scramjet technology. In terms of technical traction, we are building and firing and testing, and it is a lot of fun. Our hardware every single day, increasing the technology readiness level of the system and the subsystems, and then filing patents, getting intellectual property. And then probably the most important competitive advantage we have here is that we are first, #first, company exclusively focused on detonation engine technologies. So with that said, here's our roadmap, about a 5-year roadmap. We have a nice pipeline right now of development contracts. We're going to keep growing that. But sometime next year, we need to start stepping into putting this technology into an actual turbine. So that'll happen midway through next year. And then we'll qualify that and go into product bookings and sales. Of course, that takes money. So we continue to grow our development contract pipeline with both energy and defense. And then looking at a seed round sometime in the middle of next year. So with that said, really, we're looking for design partners. We're looking for partners with deep energy experience that can help us take this technology, navigate, and introduce it into larger energy markets and gas-fired turbines around the world. And with that said, thank you to Rice. Thank you for taking a chance on some recovering rocket motor guys and inviting us here.